All right, hello.
Hi, friends.
We're back. We had some technical difficulties. It's been a day. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know, I am a
Well,
little surprised that you had the technical difficulties, Lemur, this time because I have a
it's
storm
usually
going on
me.
like right above me. So,
Me too.
ah,
I mean,
The struggle is real.
hmm
I truly think it's how the internet line was put into this house. I'm not gonna get into it, but my internet gets real whack when it's hot. So I'm gonna guess that's what's happening, but it doesn't make any sense. Because I mean, it shouldn't be. It's 87, but it's been a lot hotter for most of the day.
yeah. Wonder if maybe you've got some wiring that needs to be replaced.
Yeah, which wouldn't surprise me because like we're the second owners of my house, because it's been a rental since it was built.
Ah, yep.
So we've had to do a lot of fixes of landlord specials, which have been super great. I'm gonna guess that, and also like, I mean, yeah, I need to get some wiring fixed.
Yep.
That's valid.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Who wants to start introductions today?
I guess I can. Hello. My name is Manabingu. I am your resident voice actor, and I guess Kaigai Idol. I just came back from a performance, and I play well, he usually is the prosecution, but this time he is the one being accused of crime, which is pretty rad. Um, uh, Von Zeeks. I am Hylock Sholmes, and his assistant Iris, and I also play. Wait, am I the judge this time? I think I'm the judge. Yes.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, because
Yes.
you're playing Strongheart, right?
I am playing Strongheart because I had to take over for Lemur because
Yes.
Lemur couldn't be Strongheart because
Lemur
everything was
somehow
happening.
accumulated all the characters when we weren't looking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
See, it was
Yeah.
fine before they all got into the same scenes,
Yeah.
and then it was like it was gonna be like an hour of me talking to myself, and nobody wants that.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
Nobody wants to do that. Like, I will
Yeah.
say, I will run solo streams with games like this. And after about an hour, you really start feeling ridiculous just talking to yourself. It doesn't matter exactly, like, what it is, what the conversation is. You just start to feel really ridiculous just putting on your own little puppet show with different voices. So, I get it.
I mean, like I do that with my dogs all day, but then like nobody else is gonna know that. So
Yeah, no, I'm recording it for the internet, so
a little different.
just a skosh. All right, Lemur, you're up.
Okay, I just wanted to make something. Hi, hello. My name is Lemur. Who do I play? I play Susato, Gina, Kazuma. And more will come up. I think those are the big three. Those are the three that matter right now. Yeah, more will come up. That's all I got.
Excellent. And hi, I'm Kels. I am your player one, so I have the controller. I control all the buttons. And yeah, I played Ryunosuke Naruhodo, so I play our protagonist. I also played Susato's dad, either last stream or the stream before, which was a little fun. And oh yeah, I play the bailiff who was formerly known as Elmo. You know, 1800s Elmo. So, Chad is saying if you want me to start keeping track of who voices who for you, start paying me. Look, I should point out, I can remember my people, so...
My guy.
My people.
My brother in Christ. You play maybe 2 people.
Sheesh.
Respectfully, eat shit.
Sheesh.
Ah,
All
fair,
the love
fair,
in my
fair.
heart, shut the fuck up.
All right, and on
Sorry,
that note,
I
let's
needed an A.
recap. All right, so last time, Sholmes and Eugene came back at night after dropping Jigoku off at the yard and picking up a telegram from Japan. Iris revealed that she knows Eugene's not her dad, even though they thought he was for a while, and cooked pheasant that Sholmes can't have. The telegram had the names from the sign of the 4 on it. It was Sholmes under our name asking Eugene to ask Hosonaga to investigate, revealing that Jigoku was the intended recipient of the coded message from last game. Then Sholmes revealed that he was on a mission to delay Kazuma's arrival in Britain and manipulated us to replace him while he sent the body back to Japan. The sign of the 4 was previously communicated to Jigoku before we even left, and he eavesdropped on that, which is how he knew to intercept Kazuma after Dr. Wilson died, figuring Kazuma and Gregson were on a hit list. Also, the watch crown from the grouse came from Gregson's broken watch. We now know that Asashin was on a mission to kill Wilson, and Kazuma had a similar mission to kill Gregson as an assassin exchange. Gregson was transferring to Paris to avoid that. Iris wishes Susato was her sister for real, and they have a surprise prepared for tomorrow. The next day, the trial resumed, and Von Zieks complained that Kazuma walks free, but Strongheart is letting him stay. Kazuma called Jigoku to testify, but he denied having anything to do with the murder. We called out Jigoku's ties to Wilson's murder and used the telegram to prove that he's involved with Gregson's, exposing the assassin exchange. Kazuma said he never named Jigoku as his target yesterday. Jigoku admitted that he told Kazuma to kill Gregson, but refused to name who told Asa to kill Wilson and made claims denying that Gregson's actual death had anything to do with the order. Kazuma only agreed so he could go to Britain. Jigoku raised doubts about Gregson's shooting going unheard, but the evacuation drill explains it. We presented the pocket watch crown to prove Gregson died in Jigoku's room, but now Jigoku wants to give testimony excusing what happened that night. No counts have changed somehow. We remain at the Gina Menace count being 13, the racism count staying weirdly low at 19. I'm sure that is going to change at some point. And the Hallowed Chalice count is 3, which does seem a little high considering the fact that the person with the Hallowed Chalice is on trial for murder. Also, yes, chat, you are correct. My 2 characters are Crackhead and Muppet. That's fair. The racism count is low because the prosecution shares our race. And I mean, half the witnesses so far do as well, so... Alright, who is Jigoku?
Remember.
You'll notice the pitfall into which you've stumbled.
Prior to your renewed testimony, I would like to clarify one point. The fact that this part of the victim's watch was discovered in your cabin means that you acknowledge he was there, I presume.
I forgot that Strongheart's gavel was a unicorn.
It's a unicorn. Yeah.
Is that their animal?
I think
was that Scotland's animal?
Yeah, it's not England. Let's see. Wales has the dragon, if I remember correctly, but I don't remember. Does one of them have a unicorn? I could be wrong.
Somebody does.
Somebody in the United Kingdom has a unicorn. I do remember that.
So it might be Scotland.
Scotland. Yeah.
Edinburgh's lovely, if you've never been.
Scotland. I just googled it.
Okay.
The unicorn is Scotland's national animal, which, like, I love that for them. Anyway, yes, I do.
Oh, very well then. You may proceed to give your formal testimony about what exactly happened in your cabin aboard the ship on the evening of 31st October.
Of course, as a man of the law, I have no intention of obstructing justice.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that, but okay. We'll pretend. All right, the events in the cabin.
Alright, hold on. I'm gonna take a drink real quick. Because I know I'm gonna talk a lot. I had a guest waiting for me when I returned to my cabin after finishing my evening meal in the dining room. When I walked through the door, a mustachioed Englishman was there, foolishly waving a gun at me. Jigoku, I don't obstruct justice, just commit crimes. There's a difference.
There is a difference. I will give him that.
Get it
I soon
right.
took. Oh, okay. I soon took care of him with an Ippon Seoi throw, though. He couldn't wait to run away after that. I imagine his watch was broken when I threw him over my shoulder. It has nothing to do with his murder. The inspector was clearly killed having returned to Britain because his body was found in London. Solid reasoning.
Iponseo.
A common jujitsu martial arts technique in my country. I was careful not to use too much force, but the man obviously landed too heavy for his watch to take. So, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I imagine you can see the flaw in your logic now, can't you?
What?
The fact that the pocket watch was broken in the witness's cabin. Point. In no way proves that the victim's murder took place there.
Ah! Dead.
Yeet backwards.
Yes.
No doubt the inspector intended to kill me. He didn't manage to pull the trigger.
As evidenced by the fact that I am not dead.
Yes, because he was merely the tactician, not the Reaper's hand of death.
Well, the testimony appears to make perfect sense as far as I can tell.
Let me express my deep gratitude for your understanding, my lord.
But if this testimony holds, Judge Jigoku will be deemed to have had no involvement in the case.
Counsel, I really see no reason for wasting precious court time here on a cross-examination.
You're just gonna take him at his word?
Yeah, he's really hot.
I mean, I can't fault you there, but also...
I mean, hot people don't lie, am I right? No.
Look, I should point out, if he's hot, you want him to stay on the stand for longer so we can all ogle. Respectfully, of course.
Yes, yeah.
Like, come on.
I take it back, yeah.
Sorry, my lord. The defense has a right to cross-examine, and I don't intend to squander that.
You're an embarrassment to your countrymen, not knowing when you're beaten.
Yeah, we famously know when we're beaten. Totally.
In that case, proceed, Mr. Naruhodo.
The events in the cabin.
Guests waiting for me when I returned to my cabin after finishing my evening meal in the dining room.
Because the so-called guard posted at your cabin door had just let your killer pass, you mean?
Apparently, Gregson told the crewman he was a police inspector, which was the truth, of course.
He wouldn't have had his identification with him, though.
He had his trench coat and mustache, not to mention...
What?
Yeah, because that's... He had his trench coat and mustache, not to mention the bag of chips. I imagine the crewman was convinced.
Okay, so all you need in order to be a police inspector in this country is a trench coat, a mustache, and French fries.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? Considering the fact that we got our lawyer badge from a cereal box, I don't think we have any room to judge. But the
Gross.
but the man accompanying him would have had 2 swords slung around his waist.
You mean me?
Who else?
Yes, that's true. You would have hoped the sight of a few swords might have set alarm bells in the guard's head.
Chicken stroganoff is not particularly thorough. Look, put some respect on Chicken's name. Our descendant got his lawyer badge from a cereal box. We got ours by looting what we thought was the corpse of our boyfriend. Yeah, that's a little more awkward now that we're standing across from him.
Yeah.
Like, let me just point out, somehow he has managed to get 2 of them, and we stole 1.
The point is, I left the cabin before its occupant returned, and I immediately disembarked the ship. Certainly, all I can tell you is that only the inspector was waiting for me when I arrived back at my cabin.
And you entered without any inkling of suspicion.
That's right, none whatsoever.
And yet we're still beating him. Curious. Look, just because he's got the badge doesn't mean he's the hot one. We're the hot one? Maybe? Of course we're the hot one.
When I walked through the door, a mustachioed Englishman was there, foolishly waving a gun at me.
Obviously, you're talking about Inspector Gregson.
Yes, though at the time I didn't know the man's name. And there was no time for introductions. I value my life over manners.
By which you mean that the inspector was there to assassinate you, I suppose.
That was certainly the impression given by the gun pointing in my direction. But I've never seen the muzzle of a revolver. But I've never seen the muzzle of a revolver shake about so much in all my life. Anyone would think the man had never shot somebody before.
Believe it or not, most of us haven't.
Anyway, there was no time to call for help of the crewman at the door, so I dealt with the man myself.
I mean, you would think that Gregson would have, though. Right? Like, I'm trying to remember whether in this game we've seen him actually try to shoot at someone, but I do not remember. It's been too fucking long.
Sorry. I soon took care of him with an Ippon Soy throw, though. He couldn't wait to run away after that.
Even though the man had a gun? That was a very brave move, wasn't it? This man is about to tell us, well, he watched a episode of the old Mythbusters and found out that a gun versus a sword, the sword wins within a certain distance, in case you never watched the episode.
I'm sorry.
My Ippon Seoi is far faster than a bullet, I can assure you. Is it?
But surely all that commotion caused the crewsman to come in, didn't it?
Chicken was busy. Yes, of course. He burst in immediately without knocking. The inspector hurled himself at the stocky fellow and just managed to slip past him to make his escape.
The outstanding guard does it again. Ryunosuke,
Nice
put
to
some
chicken.
respect on Chicken's name.
Chicken.
Luckily, there aren't many situations I can't get out of using a quick Ippon Seoi throw. The game's really like, you gotta learn how to say that.
Yep.
I love that. Alright, I imagine his watch was broken when I threw him over my shoulder. It had nothing to do with his murder.
The crown snapped off and the glass covering in the face of the watch was cracked.
Preferable to the man's head being pulled off, or his spine cracking, wouldn't you say? Not that the man was spared for long. A bullet to the chest soon saw to that. But the point is, the broken pocket watch doesn't prove that a murder took place. Absolutely not. All the watch proves is that the power of my jujitsu throw.
Whatever you say, it doesn't quite ring true that no shot was fired in that cabin. Because there was an obvious bullet hole in the wall.
What are you talking about? Stupid, and I just think that was funny. Anyway, that's what the star of your lowbrow detective stories told you, is it? Well, I don't care for such fiction.
Somewhere in the gallery, Herlock Sholmes is having an absolute fucking conniption.
Yeah, he's throwing a bitch fit right now.
Lowbrow.
Just hear a shriek from the distance. Haven't you worked it out yet, you little stripling?
I guess.
What does that mean? I don't know. No murder took place in my cabin. The inspector was clearly killed, having returned to Britain because his body was found in London.
But there's no evidence that proves that the victim ever returned to London alive.
Just take a moment to think that idea of yours through now, stripling.
Would you like to just call me a slur instead, please? That's what everyone else does.
That's crazy.
Like, come on. What?
The inspector was killed on the steamship in France. How on earth could he have gotten back to Britain? When people die, their bodies remain at the same spot. It's a devil of a thing. That's not true. Okay.
Well, then, obviously, the culprit must have moved the body.
How? Carrying a corpse off a ship in your arms would raise a few eyebrows at least, don't you think?
Well, yes, that's true, but...
You fit in that big-ass box when we found you.
Exactly.
Anyway, all passenger luggage is inspected when it's unloaded from arriving vessels. And I would like to think the border police would query the corpse of an English gentleman as hand luggage.
I mean, I would point out with enough money they probably would not, but...
If the murder had taken place aboard the ship, you would imagine the body would have been disposed of at sea.
Inspected by who, chicken?
Yes.
There'd be no sense in risking being caught by attempting to transport the body back to Britain.
Ugh. That's killed that idea then.
But perhaps not.
Miss Susato?
We've heard that I forget that that's not our regular outfit. And I was like, what are you doing with your hands there, buddy? We've heard that the first-class passengers were under constant scrutiny by the crewmen posted to guard them. Which would mean that the culprit had no opportunity to dispose of the body in the sea.
Yes, that's true. So, transporting the body to Britain may have been the only viable alternative.
Hear me, you really are new to this, aren't you?
Sir, you were in the courtroom for my first trial. I don't know why you're still surprised by this. Huh?
I thought I'd been perfectly clear, but it seems I'm going to have to explain in words that you can understand. I think I ought to alter my testimony with your consent, of course, my lord.
No, I have no objection. State your amended testimony now.
That stare, I don't like that stare.
Mm.
That man looks like he's about to beat me to death, and I'd like to remind everyone, this is probably way bigger on my screen than whatever you're watching this on. So, this man looks like he's life-sized and is going to actually beat me to death. He's just also very short because, you know, my TV isn't quite that far off the ground.
There's no possible way I could have transported the victim's corpse back to Britain.
He sees through the fourth
He
wall.
does see through.
Hold it! There's an idea.
Think about it, stripling. All passengers and crew disembarked at the same time and passed through the same checks at the border. The symposium guests were then driven straight to the hotel in carriages organized by the ministry. And we met you as soon as you arrived at the hotel. So you did. Well then, remind me, did I have a corpse over my shoulder at the time?
I don't know, I think I have a picture.
Mm-hmm.
You have a picture. He doesn't have a corpse over his shoulder, but he does have luggage.
Mm-hmm.
But no!
So we're in agreement then. I couldn't possibly have brought the inspector's body back to Britain. Unless, of course, they develop some clever device these days to instantly move things from A to B.
If only. Funny
Teleportation.
you should say that.
Professor Hairbrain's invention didn't actually work, if you remember, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yeah, of course.
The defense has become unusually quiet, I notice.
Did you have to add unusually?
Yes.
Yes, because there's really nothing more to say.
So that's his story.
Well, I suppose if you think about it, whenever you drop a teacup in the office and it breaks, we don't say, Mr. Naruhodo, you must have been murdered there, do we?
Is that a veiled threat about what might happen to me if I break another one?
Hello?
And the fact is that Inspector Gregson's body was found in a little room on Fresno Street.
You didn't answer the question, Susato.
If he really was killed in Judge Shikoku's cabin,
the body would have had
the
to
body
be
would have
moved
been
somehow.
moved.
Obviously. You're good. Transporting a dead body over a country border. That would be impossible for the majority of people. So there must have been some special circumstances that made it possible for the culprit.
That could be a vital reason, or realization, I think, Mr. Naruhodo.
Alright, so obviously the thing that we need to focus on here is that there's no possible way that he could have transported them back. Completely forgot about the what this all started with. The evacuation drill was too early. Okay. There's a really good question as to what the special circumstances would have been. And it has been so long since I looked at any of this.
Real. And true.
Okay, so it's not that. Clint's autopsy report would have already been done. Passport wouldn't have really mattered. Brigson's trunk showing up. Yeah, let's have a look inside. We've already had this conversation. I don't see anything about it that would cause special circumstance, so. I don't think that anything about his passport would have been. That doesn't tell me anything. I have no idea.
Should we look at the handy dandy?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to. This is the problem with spending so much time in between. Like, I'm sure that this is probably not that hard. But also, it's been 500 years.
But you get grillion years.
Mm-hmm.
But you grillion.
Really am not interested in the AI mode. Thank you so much. Give me a second. Okay. Sucky part is that every time I have to reload the thing, then I have to... What? Ew, get out of here. I have to start and then figure out where the fuck I am, where we are in this walkthrough.
Yeah.
Trial part 2. Okay. We're in trial part 2 somewhere.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you exactly.
Oh, that's just mean. This was the assassination exchange, the assassin exchange cross-examination. Literally the first sentence is, this one is really simple.
That's so mean.
The bitch.
I assume we didn't have to look that one up, so apparently it was simple.
It's yeah. I forget. I know about the minus or the dash no AI. I just always forget about it. I need to get in the habit. Okay, so we are going to present the evacuation drill itinerary on statement 4 or 5.
Objection.
I was like, why is it not?
Nope.
No.
Do you have the right one?
Did I go too far?
I don't know. I don't know what you're looking at, so.
I know. I was asking this. Sudden entrance. What?
Wasn't our last life, was it?
No. No, we
Oh,
still have
thank
3
God.
left.
Okay. Phew.
What are we?
It was that night in the cabin is the cross-examination, I think. Something about in the cabin. I only said it twice.
The events in the cabin?
That seems logical.
Okay, yeah, I was too. I hadn't gone far enough. Press statement 5. Present the commemorative photograph.
Objection.
Hopefully we'll figure out what the issue is, because I have absolutely no idea. There's no possible way you could have moved Inspector Gregson's body, you say. Is it just that he's got a trunk in the fucking photo? Are we really having to, like, lay this out? I get that we're lawyers, but also...
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Obviously he didn't show up with a corpse on him. I would say the opposite is true.
I will say it's tangential to his luggage. I just was reading ahead.
Okay.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Far from being impossible for you to do, the transporting of Inspector Gregson's body back to Britain is something only you could do.
What are you talking about, Ryunosuke?
As well as being a judge, Mr. Jigoku is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. Which means he's exempt from having his luggage searched when he enters the country. How were we supposed to know that?
Yeah,
Was
what
that
the hell?
mentioned before?
Hmm.
I don't know.
We learned that when we first met you upon your arrival in London. Okay, so 500 years ago, we mentioned it once.
Yeah.
Those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took rather a lot of time. I must say, I'm very envious of your ministerial status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you?
And they really are relying on the fact that you would not take months to play this game.
Clearly.
I knew you were jealous. Ha 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 ha.
I
Just laugh.
presume you recall this.
Sorry, everybody. I will never not find it funny.
Judge Jigoku. It's a photograph we took in the foyer of the hotel to mark the occasion. As the court will note, you have with you your large travel trunk. Large enough, in fact, to have a corpse inside.
Mr. Naruhodo, surely you're not suggesting.
Yeah, that's our last photo with Gregson, too.
Oh,
I'm afraid
that's so cryptic and morbid, damn.
I'm afraid I am, yes. You didn't realize there were 5 people in this photo.
Mm.
3 days ago, when we were chatting innocently with the new arrivals from Japan in the hotel, the body of Inspector Gregson was just meters away from us, inside Judge Jigoku's trunk.
Oh, shit.
Ugh.
Order in the court. I'm skeptical, counsel, that a grown man's body could fit inside even the largest travel trunk.
I don't know, let's ask the witness.
Can we phone a friend?
Because I happen to know that the witness himself, a man of considerable size, fits inside the trunk. And verifying that would be extremely simple, wouldn't it, Judge Jigoku?
Shit.
But inside his trunk, that's so horrifying.
I think it's worse that if we're right here, and the man was indeed carrying a corpse in his trunk, he then got in there where a corpse was.
Yeah.
Like, ew. Lysol and Febreze did not exist back then. And
No.
after we'd spoken with you at the Great Waterloo Hotel, you had the opportunity to visit the apparent scene on Fresno Street, taking your trunk with you in a cab to deposit the inspector's body.
I don't have to listen to this nonsense.
Dr. Gorey, the coroner who examined the body, has confirmed the possibility. She's acknowledged there are signs that steps may have been taken to disguise the true time of death. The onset of the body's decomposition could have been delayed by storing it in a refrigerator.
Counsel, as I remember explaining yesterday, refrigerators of the requisite size are few and far in between.
There was no room for a corpse in my trunk. Eugene stuffed it full of sex toys.
Sheesh.
Yes, I'm sure they are. But one place they're certainly found is on large ocean liners. Such ships are equipped with electrically refrigerated cold rooms to keep food fresh on their long sea voyages. And the SS Grouse is no exception. Professor Mikotoba told me about it only yesterday. Well, Judge Jugoku? However much you prolong this debate, you can't eliminate the truth. All the evidence points to you being the killer.
Shit.
Clearly how a serial killer laughs.
Yes. That's much better.
Well, this is all very heartening.
Huh?
I can see that this was a wise move, letting Asogi and you embark on this study tour.
From what I remember, you didn't let me. I stowed away, but
Good times.
Yeah.
You're writing the narrative.
Hmm.
What are you talking about now? Villain monologue time. Logical reasoning, of course. All court proceedings will be built on logical reasoning in the new century. And I can see that you've both laid firm foundations for that already.
This man, not 5 minutes ago, said, "Let me use smaller words so you understand," and is now giving us compliments? Bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Just Shikoku, please stop diverting attention from the issue at hand. The defense has made an accusation against you. How do you respond? Respond? There's really no need for me to respond, is there? Why ever not? Because before you can even begin to answer the question of when the victim was killed, you must first establish one key fact. Where was the victim killed? It's quite logical.
The actual scene of the crime.
Yeah.
Prosecution's stance is unaltered. The killing took place on Fresno Street when the gunshot was heard. As the accused, Barack Banziks shot the victim at point-blank range.
Kazuma, what are you doing here? Just hanging out? Just sort of enjoying your time staring at us?
Yeah. Since the no tangible evidence exists to disprove the prosecution's claim at this time, the defense's deductions amount to little more than an elaborate fairy tale.
I'm afraid that's how the logical reasoning how the logical reasoning the British are known for really works, young stripling.
The victim was shot in that little room on Fresno Street and died instantly? I'm afraid it's the prosecution's claim that's the only fairy tale here.
How can you say that?
Yeah, babe.
Quite simply. Because that claim directly contradicts a certain piece of evidence in our possession.
Very tantalizing, counsel. I think you had better explain yourself to the court, don't you?
The prosecution claims that Inspector Gregson died instantly when he was shot at the scene on Fresno Street. But this evidence clearly contradicts that claim. Didn't we already go over this? Do I have new evidence?
Are we supposed to pull on the doll? No.
Yeah.
Gregson's pocket watch?
I mean, didn't we go over that? Like, that's the whole issue, is that he's saying that when it broke, wasn't actually when he died.
Mm-hmm.
And the autopsy report feels like it should be, but is apparently not.
Should we cheat?
The photograph.
Look at his photograph.
Of the victim?
Photograph of Gregson. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What convenient shape is he bundled into?
Oh yeah, I pointed that out like ages ago.
Take that!
Mm-hmm.
A photograph of the victim in the very location you claim he wasn't killed?
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to think about it real hard.
But the point is the posture of the body itself. If Inspector Gregson had been shot there in that room, it's out of the question that his body would have been curled up in a ball like that.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but your logic is flawed. He could easily have adopted that fetal position due to the pain of the shot, which subsequently proved fatal. Nope.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Judge Jigoku, but it's your logic that is flawed.
What?
It's my turn to monologue, bitch. According to this autopsy report, the victim died instantly. He would have felt no pain, much less been able to draw himself into that position.
Ah.
Which begs the question of why the victim's body is curled up in that way. Though the answer should be abundantly clear by now.
You're suggesting.
The inspector's body took on that posture ahead of its arrival on Fresno Street, before it was coldly turned out on the floor from the inside of a large travel trunk.
You're quite right. The shape of the body. It looks exactly as if it had been kept in a confined space.
Oh shit!
Judge Jigoku, present your trunk for examination, and no, not your ass.
Yes.
I mean, do also present that one for examination, but I believe it's very possible that it will contain traces of the victim's blood.
Present my trunk. I refuse.
You don't get to bang on the desk. I get to bang on the desk.
Get it? No. Anyway.
That said Eugene holding his waistband. I wasn't going to show you that trunk.
Oh. Whoa.
Anyway, what?
On what grounds?
The Minister of Foreign Affairs from the Empire of Japan,
Okay,
bitch.
well, you have a fancy title, so what?
I shouldn't have to put up with this treatment just because of some stripling's baseless accusations. In other words, Judge Jigoku, there is blood in your trunk.
And you should probably go see a doctor for that.
Mhm.
It could cause serious problems.
I decline to answer that.
Objection.
At this moment, you're not a government minister. You are a witness in a trial in Britain's highest court. I don't care who you are or what your status outside this courtroom might be, you will not withhold information. Nothing is more important than the truth.
She right.
That one actually.
Damn. That one good. Hell yeah. Order in the court. Well, Mr. Jigoku, what's it going to be?
You can't be serious. You did it?
Sheesh.
Have you no shame at all, Kazuma Asogi? What?
Kazuma, he's about to run you over with the bus. That is what the hint was.
Very well. I admit it. I did bring the inspector's body into the country. Inside my trunk, exactly as postulated by the defense.
What?
That was a big word for Momo. Good job.
God, outrageous.
So it was you. You expect to.
Sorry. No, I admit to nothing more than what I've said.
Huh?
Of killing the man, I certainly have no recollection.
Uh-huh.
I just blacked
What?
out for it. It's fine.
What on earth is that cryptic statement supposed to mean?
I merely disposed of the inspector's body, which was left in my cabin.
You just thought, oh, wow, that's a nice welcome present. I think I'll take it with me.
In order to avoid unwanted attention. As the judicial assistant over there pointed out, I had no chance to throw it into the ocean. So, I decided my only option was to bring it into Britain with me and dispose of it somewhere else.
You can't still deny it. If you didn't do it, then who on earth did kill the man? I don't know.
Who
You
indeed?
heard of, like, the chocolate on people's pillows? I just thought that, you know, great hospitality, they decided to bring a dead man.
Yeah.
As you know, there was one other person in my cabin that night. He had the opportunity.
Hey, Kazuma, the bus is coming.
Beep beep, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And moreover, he already accepted a mission to take the inspector's life. Oh. That's right. Who else could it have been? It was you, Kazuma Asogi. You.
Damn.
Was this whole
Oh,
study abroad trip worth
shit.
it now?
I never thought you'd stoop to this. Ishiro joke. Oh, jeez. Jijoke.
You can do
Goku,
it.
there we go. My god.
Kazuma,
I know how to...
I love you, man, but also, how did you never think he'd stoop to this? This man
Okay.
sent you on an assassination mission. You thought if you got caught, like, he'd just go, oh yeah, my bad. Whoops.
It's like, no.
Oopsie.
Excuse you?
No.
How naive are you?
You've taken the words straight out of my mouth, prosecutor Kazuma Asogi. You thought by leaving the body in my cabin you could pin the crime on me, did you?
Well, the prosecution counsel has already admitted to visiting the witness's cabin on the night in question.
Yes, on an assassination mission, no less.
Exactly. Everyone's stabbing each other in the back here. I would
Holy
like
shit.
to point out that we have cleared our client at this point.
Yeah.
He has
Jerry.
he has admitted to moving the body, which means that Von Zeeks couldn't have done it now, which means we should be able to go home.
Wait.
Yeah.
Jerry.
Exactly.
Let these bitches figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Like,
You wouldn't.
he would.
You would. So, what do you make of that, young stripling? Christ, chat. Sato. But Naruhodo-san, I thought you liked getting it from the back.
Holy
And the
shit.
front too, but, you know.
What? That's wild.
You heard my testimony now. That's all I have to say on the matter. I'll admit to nothing more. That's all I gotta say about that. I don't believe this.
Fucking yikes. Counsel for the defense. What is your position now? The court awaits your response to the witness's assertion.
Well, my client
The
is
assertion
obviously-
that on the night in question, the victim's assailant was in fact Mr. Kazuma Asogi.
Well, you see, the judge has been a lying bitch from the minute that he's walked in here. So therefore, I think I will also not believe him now.
Mhm.
This isn't the dead end it seems to be. The answer's right in front of me. It comes down to Jikoku or Kazuma. Both of them had the opportunity to kill Gregson, but only one of them did it. And I'm just a step away from proving who. I feel like I want to save here. I don't really have a reason to. It just feels like, you know, it feels like when you get to the final boss and they're like, if you have anything else you need to do, you should do it now. It's giving off those vibes. Very well. The defense is ready to respond to the assertion put forward by Judge Jigoku. The idea that the victim's murder could have been committed by prosecutor Asogi is it possible or impossible?
Impossible.
Let's do it. Judge Jigoku, let me remind you of something you said only a few minutes ago. You claimed that logical reasoning is the future of the judicial process.
It is, no question.
Well, logical reasoning can prove something here. Namely, that it would have been impossible for Prosecutor Asogi to commit the crime. Literally, you cannot prove a negative, but...
What?
I believe in the Bay. The court
It
will
looks
only
like he's
accept.
going to make out with me later, so clearly
So I
you
ca-
have to be guilty.
Right. I can make out with you, sir. I gotta make out with him. Alright.
Exactly.
The
Look,
court will.
this entire trial has just been extended foreplay.
Yes.
Sorry you had to watch that the entire time.
The court will only accept an argument that is supported by compelling evidence. So present what you have, counsel. What proof is there that allegedly demonstrates the impossibility of Prosecutor Asugi's involvement?
That's a really good question, my lord.
It wants me to tell you.
Let me look over it really quick.
Okay.
Yes, please tell me.
Present the evacuation drill itinerary.
This itinerary for crew members of the SS Grouse, my lord. This is conclusive proof.
An itinerary? How does that prove anything?
Judge Shigoku, the moment you acknowledged that you found the victim's body in your cabin, this itinerary suddenly became much more significant.
What? Why?
On the night in question, as always, a crewman's sentry was on guard outside your cabin door. As long as he was there, nobody could have fired a shot inside the cabin.
Absolutely, because it's inconceivable that the guard wouldn't have heard it and come to investigate.
It's inconceivable!
Inconceivable.
So, that tells us that the crime must have taken place when the guard was elsewhere. And that narrows it.
I don't think it means what you think it means. Sorry.
And that narrows it down to the 20 minutes just after 10 o'clock, as was indicated on the itinerary.
Oh, yes, I see no flaw in your reasoning so far.
But the crucial point is this. When the evacuation drill took place, the steamship had already put to sea from the port of Dunkirk.
Yeah.
Now, clearly, the murder could have only been committed by somebody who was aboard the vessel at the time. But Prosecutor Asugi stated in yesterday's proceedings,
I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life. So I left Gregson and then disembarked the ship. I spent that night at a boarding house in town and returned to England the following morning.
I just almost went, did Iba double check his location before remembering that it's the wrong game?
Wrong game. Man, this would be so much fun if we had Iba.
So much fun. Which I'm sure the court will agree is conclusive proof that Kazuma Asugi couldn't possibly have carried out the killing.
Yeah.
Susato is our Iba.
Yes, just No, absolutely not. I do not accept that at all.
What do you mean?
The boy is just saying that to exonerate himself. You can't trust that he really disembarked the vessel. Obviously, after he left my cabin, he hid himself somewhere nearby on the ship. Just waiting for his chance to come back and...
No, that's out of the question. Isn't it, Kazuma?
As the defense rightly recalls, I disembarked the vessel and spent the night in a boarding house in Dunkirk. As I said yesterday, I signed my name in the accommodations register book. All extremely easy to verify and undeniable proof. No,
There's no escape this time. You can forget that you're a judge or a government minister. It's time you gave the court an honest answer as a common man. This man is going to rip that bench out of the ground. You
That
killed.
would be kind of hot.
I mean, it would be very hot, don't get me wrong. But also, didn't he get in trouble before because he trashed, like, a witness stand or something?
And this is like part 2.
Exactly, there
The
we go.
squeakquel.
You killed Inspector Tobias Gregson and transported his corpse back to Britain. Then you dumped the body in the room on Fresno Street and made it look as if the murder had happened there. That's what really happened, isn't it? Seishiro Jigoku.
It was that damn trial 10 years ago. That's when this all began.
Oh my god, is he erupting?
Looking back now, my fate was decided that day. I was doomed already. Ah! Oh. Alright.
What the
Oh.
hell? Is this Sengoku Basara?
It's over. My life is over.
That was pretty hot.
I was going to say that was very hot, but
Literally, man sounded like a fucking volcano and literally erupted.
exactly, like, come on. Anyways,
You're so impressed. It's like, God, I wish I was that trial bench.
exactly. Look, we could have done some things there.
Damn. Whoa. He's strong. Anyway.
A British assassin to eliminate a professor in Japan. A Japanese assassin to eliminate a detective in Britain. Both assassins will use diplomatic immunity to evade a conviction and return safely to their homelands.
The assassin exchange request arrived from Britain about 1 year ago. It was hardly a request, it was a demand.
And for that, you decided to recruit Mr. Asugi. But things didn't go according to plan. Your chosen assassin never made it to Britain. And you found yourself unable to dispatch a replacement. Because I was already on my way to Britain at that time in Kazuma's place.
And that left me with only one option for carrying out my obligation. Eliminate the mark myself, personally. Of course, there was but a single opportunity for me to do that.
The International Forensic Science Symposium, I presume.
That's right. I decided it would be safest to carry out the plan before my arrival in Britain. So I enlisted the help of my British counterpart. I made the arrangements for a pretext that would take the inspector to Dunkirk. To lure the man in, he was given a sham mission by the Reaper.
What? The Reaper?
There's only one person who could have done that. The mastermind of the entire operation, the Reaper himself. So that means that the assassin exchange was all planned by the Reaper. I'm not at liberty to say anything about my British counterpart. Anyway, the inspector accepted the Reaper's mission and dutifully infiltrated my cabin on the steamship. But it was all a trap designed to lead him to France and his own death. How awful.
Girl, he got on that ship to kill someone.
He did. It was past 9 o'clock when I returned to my cabin from the dining hall that evening. I didn't give him time to attack me. I choked him until he lost consciousness.
Kinky.
What? Hey, yo.
But there was a guard outside, just outside the door, so I left it at that for the time being. Even the slightest noise might have aroused suspicion, so I bided my time, waiting.
For the 20 minutes after 10 o'clock.
I had intended to finish him by strangulation, but moments before I had the chance, he suddenly came round and went for me in a reckless move. I'd received the British issue gun 16 years earlier, being a member of the judiciary as a visiting student. I never imagined I'd have to use it for something like that.
So the revolver belongs to you, does it?
Then the victim was killed inside your cabin on the SS Grouse. Which begs the question of why you arranged for his body to be discovered in the room on Fresno Street.
The young judicial assistant over there has already answered that question. There's no way I could take the body up on deck to throw it over the side.
Yeah, this is my really drunk friend. Don't look at him. He's embarrassed.
He wants to go for a swim.
Mm-hmm.
That's precisely where all the crewmen were gathered for the evacuation drill. So before the first-class cabin sentries returned, I took the corpse to the refrigeration room.
And then on arriving in Dover...
Everybody's food.
Yeah. And then on arriving in Dover, you concealed the body in your trunk in order to smuggle it past the border police.
I knew I needed to take steps if the police were to be convinced the body was found in London. In that case, you must have known. You must have intimate details of Inspector Gregson's intended schedule. Yes, my British counterpart sent me everything I needed to know. The inspector was due at Fresno Street at 5 o'clock that afternoon. In order to meet a man by the name of Hugh Boone, from whom he would take back his police identification.
Oh.
I decided that man would be the perfect person to set up as the culprit. So, I took a hackney carriage over there with the body still in my trunk.
That must have been just after we took this photograph with you at the hotel then.
Yes, I wasn't expecting a welcoming committee. I was more than a little nervous. On Fresno Street, I spotted a young girl selling little firecrackers.
Miss Venus, of course.
I conceived of the candle trick there and then. I donned a simple disguise and approached the girl to buy enough firecrackers to replicate a gunshot. What sort of disguise? For some reason, the inspector had a bright red hairpiece in his own traveling case. So, I put that on, although I suspect I drew more attention to myself than I would have otherwise.
So not only do we have Japanese man on the street, we have Japanese man in the ugliest red wig you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. The hairpiece we found at the scene, the inspector had it ready for the Red-Headed League investigation. I only arrived in the room at 4:45. So I quickly placed the body on the floor, moved the notice board, and set up my little candle trick. I arranged it so the firecrackers would go off with a bang around 15 minutes later.
So that Mr. Boone, who was due to arrive at 5, would walk straight into a trap.
Except at the last moment, I made a careless blunder.
What was that?
I imagine it was the bag of fish and chips.
Oh,
I didn't notice that it had fallen out of his overcoat pocket when I moved the body to the refrigerated room. I put it back into his pocket the following morning, but... well, it seems the warmth of the heated cabin had accelerated the decay of the fish.
you?
Anyway, that's everything. All the sordid details of what I did.
Not the hot judge.
I mean, he killed a man. That's hot.
Damn. But it was Gregson, and we liked Gregson.
That was before we knew Gregson was killing people via contract.
I've heard enough. We've arrived at the truth about the murder of one of the country's most capable and respected police inspectors. The witness will be tried in the coming days. For a crime of such vile nature, you can expect the most severe penalty.
Bitch, I still think you're involved, so...
Mm-hmm. An exchange of assassins. What a foolhardy idea.
Mr. Jikoku, one last detail. Who was your counterpart in Britain? Who was the mastermind behind the assassin exchange?
He told you he's not going to tell you.
Nothing you say now can make matters any worse for you. Just tell us.
Enough. I already told you. I cannot say.
Is this because you were the original serial killer? The professor?
Even though as things stand, you may very well never set foot in your homeland again. What are you waiting for? Can't we get this over with now? It's finished. All of it. I'm finished.
Sir, you killed a man. You can't just sit in the corner like a dog that's been scolded. Like...
Then in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I now pronounce the findings of this court. This man before us has admitted to the willful murder of Tobias Gregson. Oh shit. Seishiro Jigoku, it is the opinion of this court that you should be found
Since when was he on trial?
guilty.
Yeah. What?
This wasn't his trial!
And may I remind all of the present at the strict confidentiality demanded by this closed court.
I missed the
The
consent.
fuck?
And the, you know. Round of applause, but whatever.
Moments ago, Mr. Jigoku signed a written confession, admitting to the murder of Inspector Gregson and the subsequent conveyance of the body.
Exactly. Cosmo saying that was a guilty verdict. I win.
In short, the defendant's innocence has therefore been established beyond doubt.
Don't you dare say it, Cosmo.
Oh, wonderful. Well done, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yeah, thank you.
Is something wrong?
I'm just a little troubled by his silence.
The true identity of the Reaper of the Bailey and his extraordinary assassin's exchange.
Are you just sitting here going, we may never know the truth?
All according to Keikaku? We do remain in the dark about these mysteries. However, insofar the indictment brought against the defendant in this trial, we have reached a conclusion.
Now we gotta wrap it up quickly before anyone else asks any more questions.
I have every intention of pursuing both mysteries. As a prosecutor.
Okay, guys, we can't all be part of the legal system and investigate. It's almost like there are people whose jobs do that, and they're called private investigators and detectives.
As you wish. Now for the formal adjudication. I hereby declare the defendant, Barak von Zeeks.
Objection.
Yeah, I figured that was
Oh,
coming.
fuck.
He was too quiet.
Mm-hmm. Prosecution calls for the adjudication to be deferred.
Counsel?
Sorry. The accused innocence has been fully established. The accused innocence hasn't been fully established at all. And therefore, it would be wrong to deliver a verdict at this time. That's the prosecution's unwavering position.
What?
But Judge Jigoku has already confessed. Forgot it was me, Jesus Christ. Nevertheless, Barak von Zeeks has committed crimes for which he must be punished.
Kazuma, we can flirt somewhere else, I promise.
Oh.
Dog with a bone. I'm not gonna let it go.
Well. It would appear you have information that the court needs to hear, Prosecutor Azuki.
Certainly. The murder of Inspector Gregson was actually carried out by Seishiro Jigoku. But it's clear from the witness's testimony that he was coerced into complying with the plot. Into this sick, merciless assassin exchange.
That that may be true, but
what I want to know is who coerced Jigoku? Who was pulling the strings?
Kazuma, that's what we're all saying. We're about to investigate.
Mm-hmm. The victim went to France, having been ordered on a mission for the Reaper, only to be murdered. In other words, the mastermind behind the assassination exchange is someone in a position to give such an order. As we've already established, the Reaper himself.
Well, certainly that would appear to follow.
The prosecution hereby formally accuses the man in the dock, Barak von Zeeks, of being the Reaper of the Bailey. And furthermore, I'm going to prove his guilt beyond all reasonable doubt.
Okay, but Kazuma, you do hear how this is a completely different trial from the one that we're currently doing, right? Like,
Nope.
okay.
Gotta keep going.
Bro gives no fucks.
What?
Bro, we were about to go home. Order, order, order. The Reaper of the Bailey is a long-standing mystery, Council. Are you suggesting that you have some new information with which to build a case?
I have determination and the
Hot
ability
look.
to just randomly accuse people of things, so.
Scotland Yard has already investigated Lord von Zeeks very thoroughly in that regard. And they found no evidence whatsoever to substantiate the claim that he is the Reaper. Perhaps. The circumstances have now changed.
What do you mean?
It's already been established that the assassin exchange was negotiated with Jigoku by the Reaper himself. Which means we now have a new line of questioning by which to identify definitively the man's identity.
Did you not want to bring this up when we had Jigoku here to ask questions of? You just didn't think that was a good question to ask?
Nah. That is the prosecution's intention here.
I feel like the prosecution needs to go back to law school.
I must say I'm surprised by quite how tenaciously you appear to want to besmirch my name.
To be fair, you kind of besmirched his first, so.
Yeah, you're right.
Turnabout is kind of fair play here.
You are guilty of an unforgivable crime, Lord von Zeeks. And I will bring you to justice for it, whatever it takes.
Hmm.
That explains Kazuma's silence before. He'll stop at nothing to finish what Lord von Zeeks unwittingly started 10 years ago.
Very well. Once it's extremely irregular, I will on this occasion grant the prosecution further opportunity for witness testimony. The defendant will disclose any and all involvements he has with the Reaper and the Assassin exchange.
Thank you, my lord, for guiding the court so wisely.
I hereby declare this court to be in session for a supplementary hearing.
Well, this is fun. Oh, that's your
Oh.
boot.
Nay, turn a blind eye to the discourtesy as I verify that this vile and unremitting accusation hasn't sourced the contents of my hollowed chalice. Do you like my foot?
Lord von Zeeks?
Okay, foot is down. I first had to suffer the pseudonym of the Reaper 10 years ago now. And ever since that time, I've endured the weight of implied guilt that's gone with it. So, I welcome the chance to testify now and crush those allegations once and for all, just like this cop that I crushed with my bare hands.
Good. Then let justice decide, Lord von Zeeks. The prosecution seeks to begin building its case by calling the accused to the stand as the primary witness, in order that he may answer the accusation brought by the prosecution that he is the Reaper of the Bailey.
You know what I'm concerned about is that we have to cross-examine him.
Mm-hmm. And what says the defense?
That Putting the defendant in the witness stand can be extremely dangerous. And Kazuma-sama is so emotional at the moment, he's not thinking logically.
I'm trying to get him to think with his dick. It doesn't seem to be working.
Damn.
You're right that he's not himself. But I knew it would be like this. And I came here today determined to face him through whatever might arise. As a lawyer and as his lover. Look, sometimes you just have to fix what's written. Typos, you know, that kind of thing.
That's definitely a typo.
100%.
Then that's what we must do.
The defense has no objection, my lord.
Defendant, you will now take the witness stand and give formal testimony on the subject of your involvement with the Reaper and the assassin exchange. As you wish, my lord.
Tell the truth. Please tell the truth. I'm begging you, sir. Please tell the truth.
I'm just excited that the witness isn't me for a hot second.
All right, the Reaper and the assassin exchange.
I've never taken the life of another, nor have I instructed another to kill. I've been investigating the truth behind the Reaper for years, and I was aware of Gregson's involvement. That's the reason why I went to Fresno Street on that day, and how I came to discover the body. The point is, no common thread exists between myself, Gregson, and Dr. Wilson. Clearly, therefore, there's no reason to suspect me of being behind the assassin exchange.
Where's the... Yeah.
So, you deny all accusations by the prosecution? Both that you are the Reaper of the Bailey, and that you're masterminded the assassin exchange? I acknowledge that the public at large believe me to be the Reaper. However, that's a fallacy, which I alone am in a position to forswear.
Naturally, the prosecution believes the testimony just given by the accused to be untrue.
Okay, where's your proof?
Ryunosuke Naruhodo,
Yeah?
Yes.
let me ask you, why are you here? What really brings you to this courtroom?
Job.
Yes. It's something called a paycheck and a rent payment. And also, I get to stare at a hot guy across the room for most of it, so it's not like this is even the worst job, so...
Best job ever.
A desire to uncover the truth.
Even if the truth proves your client to be guilty?
From all my experiences in this courtroom, I've come to realize something. The truth can't be hidden. Sooner or later, it will come out. So it's always my intention to work with my client in pursuit of the truth.
I want you to remember what you just said.
Can we ask why you're here? Because you seem to be getting off on accusing this man.
Enough dilatory chatter. Counsel for the defense, proceed to cross-examine the witness.
Yes, my lord. I know exactly what you're thinking, Kazuma. I know you're just waiting to point it out. The contradiction you're convinced lies somewhere within this man's testimony. Alright, the Reaper and the assassination exchange. I do want to check one. Clinton Bonzeeks. Yep, there's John H. Wilson. And there's Inspector Gregson
Mm-hmm.
for Clint's autopsy report. Sorry, man. You're lying.
I've never taken the life of another, nor I have instructed another to kill.
So, you're not what the general public refer to as the infamous Reaper of the Bailey?
Exactly.
Unimagine for a moment that the court will be satisfied with one-word answers on this.
I realize that.
If you're intending to comment on every sentence, this could take a while, Kazuma. Didn't you find it disturbing, though? That one by one, defendants who'd been acquitted after your unsuccessful prosecution were killed?
Let me answer that question by posing another. If one by one, defendants who'd been acquitted after your successful defense were killed, would you find that disturbing?
Disturbing? I couldn't possibly say how that would make me feel with a one-word answer like that.
Exactly.
Well, that told me.
But even though I'm not the Reaper, that doesn't mean I ignored all hearsay. I've been investigating the truth behind the Reaper for years, and I was aware of Gregson's involvement.
You say for years. How long exactly?
Since the very first time, the Reaper's influence was felt in this courtroom, 10 years ago now.
And your investigations led you somehow to Inspector Gregson, you're saying?
I didn't want to believe it. He was a personal acquaintance. We'd worked on cases together in the past.
A friend, even?
It felt like a betrayal. But I demanded permission to search his office at the yard without his knowledge.
Which is when you found his secret notebook, isn't it?
It's when I first learnt of the location he'd noted, only as grouse, and the appointment at 5 p.m. on the 31st. Though I didn't know the significance of those details at the time.
So, now we're at the nub of the matter.
As it turns out, the significance for me personally was very unfortunate. That's the reason why I went to Fresno Street on that day, and how I came to discover the body.
But why did you go to that specific location?
I thought that if it was the Reaper's headquarters, then by turning up there at 5 o'clock I would watch whoever was involved catch whoever was involved red-handed. Sadly, all that was awaiting me was the inspector's corpse.
Yeah, even though it wasn't designed for you, you walked straight into the trap set by Jigoku.
Exactly. Jigoku had intended to implicate Hyun, but unhappily for me, I arrived at the scene first.
A ridiculously careless blunder.
Moved on to just throwing insults around, I see then, Kazuma.
Think what you will, it doesn't exchange the truth. The point is, no common thread exists between myself, Gregson, and Dr. Wilson.
There is a link between you and Gregson, though.
Of course. We were close acquaintances. We'd worked on numerous cases together. I considered the man to be a mentor of sorts. He taught me a number of important lessons.
He did? Such as what?
The correct number of fish and chips. Wow, where to buy good fish and chips and such. Like, I thought I was gonna make a joke. Listen, I was gonna make a joke. I didn't say that.
Well, that was convincing.
Dr. Wilson was a coroner, of course, but that was some time in the past. And in any case, I understand it was several years ago, now that he was invited to work at a Japanese university.
That's right. He was a visiting professor at the Imperial Yume University in Tokyo.
I should be unambiguously clear then that no link exists between myself and him. In other words, I had no motive for sending some assassin across the oceans to kill a man.
It sounds plausible enough, and I want to believe it, but something about this just doesn't sit quite right with me.
Clearly, therefore, there's no reason to suspect me of being behind the assassin exchange.
Certainly, as it stands, there's no evidence to suggest that you concocted the scheme.
Objection.
But as it stands, we have only the accused's insistence of his innocence.
Sorry?
Perhaps there is some reason that would explain why he masterminded the assassin exchange. And if a reason could be established later in these proceedings...
You don't get to question a witness until you find a crime for them. That's not how this generally works.
Then the accused claim in this testimony that he wasn't involved would amount to perjury.
Well, yeah, that's true. But
Kazuma, I don't have motive yet, but give me a minute.
yeah, exactly.
Clearly Kazuma-sama intends to identify a reason and use it to make his case.
So if we don't identify something first,
He'll gain the advantage.
this could be dangerous. A convincing testimony by Lord von Zieks.
Certainly, with no apparent connection between the three men, there's no way to establish a motive. The testimony seems unassailable, as far as I can see. Oh dear me, what a bleak expression.
I agree, there doesn't seem to be any particular link between them at first glance. But with the inclusion of one other person, I must be overthinking it, surely.
Another person, Mr. Naruhodo?
I need to think back over all the information we've gleaned so far.
Alright, and I'll review my notes about the case and all the evidence in the court record.
Could it be that Lord von Zieks has something to hide after all? Alright, let's nail his ass.
Objection.
What is this? An autopsy report. Wait. This is 10 years old. From the autopsy of Lord Clint von Zieks. What? My brother's autopsy report?
I'm pleased to see the defense doesn't intend to run from the undeniable truth. Thank you for the time check. I think we're really close to a good stopping point.
I think so, yeah.
What in the court? What reason do you have for presenting 10-year-old autopsy report here, counsel?
The autopsy report of the professor's final victim. It's an indelible link between Inspector Gregson, Dr. Wilson, and the defendant.
Not the accuser's name again. The professor.
I've personally researched all of the court records relating to that case. I know that at the time, autopsy was considered sacrilege to the victim's souls. And, for a member of the Aristocracy, there we go, like Lord Clint von Zeeks. It was unthinkable. But someone implored the powers that be to allow the autopsy to go ahead. Inspector Gregson. He declared that he was certain he would obtain conclusive proof from the procedure. And it was Dr. Wilson who conducted the autopsy. His signature is clearly visible on the document.
As promised by Gregson, the autopsy did indeed produce evidence. Evidence that conclusively proved Genshin Asugi was guilty of the murders. In both my brother's dying moments, he mustered all his remaining strength to leave that vital clue behind. Indeed, that was the key to indicting the professor for his crimes, and the conclusive evidence that convicted him. It enabled Lord Von Zeeks here to avenge his brother's senseless death, with a marvelous victory in court.
Are we just gonna keep, like, rubbing this in? Hey, Kazuma, you know about your dad's death? It was great. He performed a really good prosecution.
A marvelous victory, was it? I wonder if that's really true.
What?
For the same be said if it turned out that the key piece of evidence in question was in fact fabricated? If the inspector, the coroner, and the prosecutor all colluded together to cast an innocent Japanese man as a mass murderer and send him to his death.
Kazuma, buddy,
Outrageous!
I don't think you have the evidence to follow this one through.
And now, 10 years later, for some reason, the secret has been threatened and needs protecting. Which is why the inspector and the coroner had to be silenced, isn't it? Isn't it? By someone in power in Japan and in Britain, using the two killers recruited for the assassin exchange.
Order at once.
10 years ago, my father was convicted in this very courtroom as a mass murderer, to be sentenced to death. But it was all a sham, and I swore to myself that I'd prove it. Which is why I had to come to Britain, whatever the cost.
But is now really the time you want to be drinking wine?
Forgive me if I feel compelled to toast this vengeful Nipponese's tenacity of purpose here. However, he who fails to quash his emotions in the courtroom has failed as a lawyer.
Sir, I have watched you throw a number of temper tantrums.
That's true.
Come on, Kazuma, you know this won't wash. You're claiming your father was misrepresented in a trial that took place a whole decade ago. You must see that without evidence, that's nothing more than a wild accusation.
As it happens, I have evidence.
And I think we're gonna end here.
Shit.
We're
Damn!
gonna end on a cliffhanger here.
Well, that's crazy.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for hanging out. All next stream is Thursday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. Anyone got any announcements?
Nope.
No, my event was last week.
All right, well, that makes this easy. As a reminder, if you are watching on Twitch, below is the link to our YouTube channel. You can go check out any of our previous games or previous streams, including the one where we apparently got some of the background information we needed for this case that, we did a year ago. Um, if you are on YouTube, feel free to like, subscribe, hit that bell, and we'll be back on Thursday. Have a good night,
Smash that
y'all.
like
Goodbye.
button. Bye.
Bye.